940. Chapter 940. Misunderstood. There's no such thing as a free lunch in the world. The 4 laws were not what Lin Moyu wanted. Lin Moyu wanted the undying law, the time law, and the space law, but none of them were here. As for the chaos law, that was something only found in legends. Could only be said that Lin Moyu's requirements were too high, even he felt a bit extravagant. Since he couldn't rely on the undying law, it was better to return to the soul world and observe the manifestation of the laws in the multi-star spell to comprehend them. Lin Moyu ultimately chose the lightning law. At least this law would be very beneficial for driving the god-slaying fortress. After Lin Moyu made his choice, the other 3 law stars disappeared, leaving only the lightning law star. On the lightning law star, lightning flashed and thunder roared, and the aura of the law was extremely dense. In Lin Moyu's perception, the degree of this law surpassed the stellar essence fire he had seen before, second only to the manifestation of the laws. Moreover, the human emperor training ground had the effect of clearing the soul and focusing attention, making comprehension here very effective. As Lin Moyu concentrated, various insights about the lightning law came flooding in. Lin Moyu felt he had a new understanding of the lightning law, and his mastery was continuously improving. Previously, he only had a superficial understanding of the lightning law, barely able to use it, let alone master it. But now, he felt increasingly familiar with the lightning law. At this rate, it wouldn't take long for him to master the lightning law and draw a tributary from the river of the lightning law. He had once been fortunate enough to see the river of laws, where each law had its own river. When he could master a law, even if only 1%, a tributary would branch out from the river of laws. Only after mastering all the tributaries could one truly enter the river of laws. Now, his mastery of the lightning law was rapidly improving, and Lin Moyu was completely immersed in the beauty of the law. Ding! Suddenly, he woke up, and the law star in front of him receded and disappeared. His consciousness returned to his body, and he was pulled out of the comprehension of the law. Although his consciousness had returned, Lin Moyu was still immersed in the comprehension of the law, feeling unsatisfied.
Time's up.
Lin Moyu sighed lightly in his heart. A day had passed quickly. When he comprehended the undying law, it was measured in years, often taking several years. Now, a mere day was nothing. However, in this one day, Lin Moyu had a preliminary understanding of the wonders of the human emperor training ground. Although it wasn't the manifestation of the laws, its effect was no less than that. In some respects, it even surpassed the manifestation of the laws. Lin Moyu had a lot to say about this. The undying law and the time law had both manifested in his soul world. Although they had manifested and were very clear, he still had to comprehend the laws himself. So, back then, he spent a lot of time comprehending the undying law. But the human emperor training ground was different. When he comprehended the lightning law, it was as if a very good teacher was personally teaching him the mysteries of the lightning law. Laws cannot be passed on by word of mouth, nor can they be recorded in materials. Lin Moyu didn't understand how the human emperor network managed to convey the mysteries of the laws as if a teacher were teaching him. Although he still had to understand it himself, the entry stage was much faster, making it very easy to comprehend the laws.
If I continue at this pace, I can master the lightning law within 10 days and establish a tributary of the lightning law. 1% of the lightning law can greatly enhance the power of the god-slaying fortress. But how does the human emperor network do it? It seems to violate the rule that laws cannot be passed on by word of mouth.
Lin Moyu was very puzzled. He finally decided to continue comprehending the laws. With a thought, he spent 10,000 points to get 10 days of training time. A faint light enveloped Lin Moyu, and he entered the training state again. The lightning law star enlarged in his vision, and various mysteries and insights about the lightning law flooded in again. To Lin Moyu, it felt like a very dedicated teacher was whispering all the secrets of the lightning law in his ear. This clearly violated the rules of the great world, where laws cannot be passed on by word of mouth, a fact known to everyone. But in the human emperor training ground, this rule was broken. With the teacher's guidance, the speed of comprehension was much faster than doing it alone. Moreover, the lightning law belongs to the third tier of laws, making it much easier to comprehend than the first and second tiers. Lin Moyu's comprehension of the lightning law improved at an astonishing speed. Boom! Lin Moyu's soul opened its eyes. He saw the river of laws spanning the starry sky again. The river of the lightning law was much smaller than the river of the undying law and far less imposing. A small tributary extended from the river of the lightning law, connecting to his soul. Lightning flickered on his soul, and Lin Moyu knew he had mastered 1% of the lightning law. Only 8 days had passed, and including the first day it had taken just 9 days. In such a short time, he had comprehended 1% of the lightning law. This was enough to complete the transformation from a half-step supergod to a true supergod. The wonders of the great world were once again displayed before Lin Moyu. No wonder they say that small worlds are resource poor. Just the human emperor training ground alone can surpass all small worlds. If small worlds had similar training grounds, the likelihood of producing supergods would be much higher. The river of laws appeared for only a few seconds before disappearing again, hiding back into the void. After reaching 1% mastery of the law, the whispering voice seemed to disappear. The very dedicated teacher was gone, and the various mysteries and insights about the law no longer flooded in as before. Lin Moyu suddenly thought of a saying.
The master leads you to the door, but the practice is up to you.
He hadn't mastered the lightning law, so a teacher guided him to the entry stage. After entering, further practice depended on himself.
How naive of me to think there could be such a good thing in the world. It turns out it was just to guide me to the entry stage. The rest still depends on my own comprehension. So, the human emperor training ground hasn't completely violated the rules of the great world. Perhaps it just found a clever way around them.
Lin Moyu laughed at himself, realizing he had misunderstood. Comprehending laws is extremely difficult. How could it be effortless? The rules of the great world cannot be easily broken. With 2 days left, Lin Moyu didn't continue comprehending the laws. After entering, the speed of comprehension returned to normal, and 1 or 2 days wouldn't yield much progress. Taking this opportunity, Lin Moyu began to explore the sea of laws, counting how many laws were in it. 941, 941. Chapter 941. Humanity is fortunate, I am fortunate. Lin Moyu had a deeper understanding of the sea of laws after counting them. He was curious about how the human emperor network constructed such a vast sea of laws. This was just one of the 5 seas of laws, and there must be even larger ones in the central divine city. According to the correspondence between reality and illusion, what exists in the human emperor network might also exist in the real world. But where in the real world could there be so many law stars? Moreover, law stars almost never form naturally. Lin Moyu was very curious. Then he saw a special star in the sea of laws. This star not only emitted no light but also swallowed the incoming light. If it weren't for Lin Moyu's sensitive soul, which detected the spatial vibrations on its surface, he wouldn't have seen it.
Black hole?
Lin Moyu instinctively reacted. In the starry sky there are various stars, and black holes are one of them. They swallow light and everything they touch, even stars. Some giant black holes can even swallow divine kings. Human records state that unless one reaches the divine sovereign realm, it's best to avoid black holes. The black hole in the sea of laws couldn't be a real black hole but a virtual one constructed by the human emperor network. But why construct a completely useless virtual black hole in the sea of laws? Lin Moyu didn't believe the human emperor network would be so bored. His consciousness looked into the black hole, and an invisible suction pulled his consciousness in. Lin Moyu felt his soul enter another space, but trusting the human emperor network, he didn't panic. He knew it was absolutely safe in the human emperor network, and any danger would be pre-warned. The feeling of his soul being split was just an illusion. A large amount of consciousness entered the black hole, which seemed like another starry sky. In the starry sky, a blazing flame burned, filled with astonishing laws. The laws were so powerful that they seemed to burn the entire starry sky. Lin Moyu had never seen such a vast and astonishing fire law. A river of laws burning with flames appeared in the starry sky, with laws roaring and fire waves surging. In the center of the flames stood a human strongman. He stood casually, but his aura permeated the universe.
Divine Sovereign!
Lin Moyu immediately recognized this as a divine sovereign, and a very powerful one. Divine sovereigns have complete control over the tributaries of laws, and their power is integrated into the river of laws. Every move is filled with the power of laws, immensely powerful. But now, this divine sovereign seemed to be in a bad situation. Flames flew out from the river of laws, burning his body and revealing fiery white bones. This divine sovereign had lived with the fire law all his life, and the law had long seeped into his bones. But now he was about to die under his own law. The divine sovereign was neither happy nor sad. He looked at the river of laws above and spoke loudly.
Glorious humanity, the fire will not extinguish. With the protection of the human emperor, our humanity will never perish. Now I, the red fire divine sovereign, willingly transform into the fire seed, eternally illuminating billions of humans, blessing the prosperity of humanity. Humanity is fortunate, I am fortunate too.
The voice echoed through the starry sky, and all the flames gathered together, compressing and condensing. The flames became more intense, and in the final gathering, they sublimated brilliantly. A violent explosion unfolded before Lin Moyu's eyes. The explosion opened the key to the inheritance, and a brilliant law star was born in the fire law. In Lin Moyu's eyes, this newly born law star was far more brilliant than the fire law and far more magnificent than the river of laws. The law star condensed the supreme will of the red fire divine sovereign. He transformed into a law star, becoming the fire seed of humanity, blessing the prosperity of humanity. The unimaginable shock deeply moved Lin Moyu's heart. It turned out that the sages of humanity not only existed in small worlds but also in the great world. The law stars were so brilliant, far surpassing all the stars in the starry sky. Then, the scene changed, and cold winds howled. The entire galaxy was frozen, and countless enemies were eternally sealed in ice. But outside the galaxy, countless alien races were still watching. The cold water divine sovereign, heavily injured, laughed fearlessly and wildly.
With the protection of the human emperor, our humanity will prosper. Now I, the cold water divine sovereign, will annihilate the enemy races, transform into the fire seed, and bless the prosperity of humanity. Humanity is fortunate, I am fortunate too.
The coldness swept across the starry sky at a speed faster than light. The brilliant silver-white river of stars sparkled, and within a radius of tens of light years, everything was frozen in an instant. The cold water divine sovereign transformed into a law star in the starlight, illuminating humanity for eternity. The scene changed again. In a prosperous alien galaxy, powerful aliens were on high alert. More than 10 divine sovereigns, along with countless divine kings, defended the galaxy. This was their home galaxy, now being attacked by a single person. A human, dressed in black and shrouded in gray aura, exuded a strange and terrifying law. Lin Moyu immediately recognized that this person controlled the law of death. The law of death was similar to his own law of immortality and was even recognized by the Human Emperor Network. The law of death was a second-tier law much stronger than elemental laws. This human was covered in wounds but had a cold smile on his face, full of killing intent.
With the protection of the human emperor, our humanity will prosper. Now I, the death god sovereign, will exterminate the enemy race, and from now on, there will be no more of your race in the great world. This god will transform into the fire seed, blessing the prosperity of humanity. Humanity is fortunate, I am fortunate too.
The river of laws appeared, covering the entire galaxy. The gray aura swept down, engulfing the entire galaxy. The alien race perished under the law of death. The alien divine sovereigns fought desperately but ultimately couldn't resist the invasion of death. The entire race was annihilated. The death god sovereign also transformed into a law star under the gray law, illuminating humanity for eternity. Lin Moyu's consciousness returned, and he shuddered, waking up. He saw the origin of these law stars. They were transformed by human divine sovereigns who fought and died for humanity. Even after death, they transformed into law stars, illuminating future generations of humanity for eternity. His eyes unknowingly became moist, filled with emotion and more with shock. Lin Moyu couldn't describe it in words.
Only such humanity can withstand the cruelty of the great world. Only such humanity is the true humanity.
942, 942. Chapter 942. New Task. Ghostly Secret Realm. A strong belief was growing in Lin Moyu's heart. The inheritance of the human race has been passed down from generation to generation. The fire of inheritance has never been extinguished. Over countless years, many races have risen and fallen, and the human race has also faced extinction. But in the end, they all persevered and became one of the most powerful races in the great world. Besides the relentless efforts of generations, there were also countless sages who selflessly contributed. They transformed into stars, illuminating for billions of years. With a strong sense of shock, Lin Moyu left the Human Emperor Training Ground and the Human Emperor Network. The experience in the Human Emperor Training Ground made him understand even more that in this cruel great world, only by continuously becoming stronger can one truly survive. Without enough strength, nothing can be achieved. The belief in becoming stronger became more determined.
Let's do the task first.
Lin Moyu headed to the task center. The path to becoming stronger must be taken step by step. Now he could only do tasks just like when he was leveling up in the small world. He needed to repeatedly clear dungeons. Lin Moyu was used to clearing dungeons before, and now he was also used to tasks. For him, there was not much difference between the two. Whether it was tasks or dungeons, they were both ways to train the younger generation. They grow and improve through tasks and dungeons. After Lin Moyu left the Human Emperor Training Ground, Zhu Tian received a file on Lin Moyu. The file was sent from the Human Emperor Network. As the lord of a domain and with the cultivation of a peak god, he had some privileges. He had the Human Emperor Network keep an eye on Lin Moyu's actions. Looking at the file, Zhu Tian's eyes flashed with surprise again.
The first time he went to the Human Emperor Training Ground, he saw a black hole and even went inside. At least a second-tier peak soul, otherwise he wouldn't be able to sense the existence of the black hole. He should have seen the records in the black hole, and judging by his reaction, it proves his character is fine. In 9 days, he entered the Thunder Law, with excellent comprehension. What a good kid!
All of Lin Moyu's performances after entering the Human Emperor Training Ground were recorded. After reading it, Zhu Tian was even more satisfied with Lin Moyu, especially Lin Moyu's performance after seeing the black hole, which made Zhu Tian certain of Lin Moyu's character. Zhu Tian thought for a moment and then sent the file to the Lord of the Divine City. A smile appeared on his face.
The Lord must be very busy recently. I guess those old guys are all recommending candidates to you.
Since the Lord of the Divine City expressed the idea of accepting a disciple, the entire high-level human race was in an uproar. A group of old guys who usually didn't show up all came out, wanting to push their people forward. Among them were their own descendants and people they favored. They knew very well what it meant to be the Lord's disciple. It was very likely to be the successor of the Lord, the next Lord of the Divine City. But the Lord's requirements were too high. This matter had been pending for hundreds of years without a decision. But the more it was like this, the more people saw an opportunity. Over the past 100 years, the new generation of young people also began to grow up, and more people were recommended to the Lord. Zhu Tian had also recommended someone earlier, but the Lord did not accept it. Later, he realized that ordinary people were not enough. They must have both excellent talent and character. This time he had his eyes on Lin Moyu and thought Lin Moyu might be suitable. Lin Moyu selected another task at the task center. Level 3 task. Go to the ghostly secret realm and find the gray stone. Find the ghostly secret realm near the Suzaku 50-star system and find the gray stone in the secret realm. Restriction. Do not damage the secret realm. Completion condition. Limited to 30 days. Bring back at least one gray stone. Basic task reward, 1,500 points. If more than one gray stone is brought back, the reward will be increased accordingly. Note: the ghostly secret realm is inhabited by the ghostly clan, which has strong soul attack power. The ghostly clan's level ranges from Super God level 5 to Super God level 7. This was a task with a medium danger level. Comprehensive strength reaching Super God level 7 could take it. Lin Moyu was interested in the task's reward. Finding one gray stone would reward 1,500 points. If he could find more, the task reward would increase accordingly. This was different from Starfire Gold and Starlight Crystal Cores. No matter how much Starfire Gold and Starlight Crystal Cores were exchanged for points, they could only be used for consumption and did not count as task points, which could not improve the permission level. But this task, if he could bring back more gray stones, could be counted in the task reward and used to improve the permission level. He just didn't know how much reward points could be increased. At the same time, Lin Moyu also thought that this task was definitely not simple. Finding the gray stone must not be easy. It would probably be difficult to find even one, otherwise the task would not be limited to 30 days. As for the soul attack of the ghostly clan with his third-tier peak soul quality, he could completely ignore it. The medium danger level meant the task difficulty was significantly increased. Generally, tasks with a danger level lower than the task requirement would be taken. That is, those at Super God level 7 would take tasks requiring Super God level 6 with medium danger. At least one level higher than the task requirement would ensure safety. Some with slightly weaker strength would even take tasks 2 levels higher. Lin Moyu at Super God level 3, taking a task requiring Super God level 7 with medium danger, was completely unprecedented and broke countless people's rules. Lin Moyu arrived at the nearest teleportation array and headed to the Suzaku 50-star system. As the teleportation array just started, Renchang flew over from a distance. Seeing Lin Moyu, he was about to call out, but then he saw the teleportation array start, and Lin Moyu disappeared. He couldn't say the rest of his words, slapped his thigh, and sent a message to Lin Moyu through the Human Emperor network. The Suzaku 50-star system was a medium-level star system. Its location was quite special, just a light year away from the 98-star system where Lin Moyu was. It was also the only medium-level star system within Lin Moyu's activity range. Lin Moyu thought, taking this opportunity to see what a medium-level star system was like. According to the data, even the lowest-ranked medium-level star system was much more prosperous than low-level stars. After coming out of the teleportation array, Lin Moyu saw the 50-star system. This time, the teleportation did not directly enter the 50-star system but appeared on the outskirts of the star system. The ghostly secret realm was located in a hidden position outside the 50-star system. As the star system moved, it also moved along, often changing positions. The first difficulty of this task was to find the entrance to the ghostly secret realm in the vast starry sky. Many people performing this task would spend nearly half their time searching for the entrance to the secret realm. But this was not difficult for Lin Moyu. Just as he was about to act, he received a message from Renchang through the Human Emperor network. After reading it, Lin Moyu smiled slightly and then replied,
I'm doing a task. Contact you when I get back. Okay.
Renchang quickly replied. Lin Moyu took out the God-slaying fortress and started working. 943, 943. Chapter 943. The best fit is the best. Based on the task's hints, Lin Moyu first locked onto the area where the ghostly secret realm was located. The God-slaying fortress swiftly navigated through this area, releasing a large number of undead legions along the way. What intrigued Lin Moyu was that no one had taken this task. In the previous tasks he had executed, there were always quite a few people. After all, the human population in the Great World was vast, which Lin Moyu could fully understand. But this task was different. In the vast starry sky, there was not a single person. No one had taken this task. Upon reflection, it made some sense. The difficulty of this task lay in 2 aspects: finding the entrance and finding the gray stone. Generally, a level 3 task takes between 3 to 10 days, but this task was limited to 30 days. The time investment was too long, and the cost-effectiveness was not high. There were many level 3 tasks, and people would usually choose the better ones, avoiding this one. As a result, in the vast starry sky, only Lin Moyu was left.
There are no good or bad tasks, only suitable ones. The task that suits you is the best task.
Lin Moyu chose the ghostly secret realm task among many tasks because it suited him. He had millions of undead legions that could find the secret realm entrance in the shortest time. Similarly, they could find the gray stone in the secret realm in the shortest time, possibly more than one. The undead legions spread out in the starry sky, conducting a carpet search. In less than half a day, Lin Moyu found the entrance to the secret realm. The entrance looked like a thin layer of gray mist, drifting casually in the starry sky. It was no more than 5 meters high and wide, almost without thickness. In the starry sky, changing the angle could make it invisible, making it very concealed. Fortunately, Lin Moyu had enough subordinates, and the undead had unique perspectives, eventually finding it. What took others several days or even more than 10 days, Lin Moyu accomplished in less than half a day. Standing in front of the entrance, Lin Moyu smiled.
So, the best fit is the best.
He passed through the thin gray mist and entered the secret realm. It was like entering a completely different world. The secret realm was an independent space, similar to but different from the great world. The ghostly secret realm presented a grayish color, with all starlight disappearing at that moment. Lin Moyu felt his body slightly heavy, as if an invisible force was pressing on him, suppressing him. This was a suppression from the soul level. The 9-colored dragon soul crystal emitted a loud dragon roar, and the suppression disappeared. He saw streams of light weaving and flying in the sky. They were not meteors or starlight, but something similar to remnants of souls. They only looked like remnants of souls. Lin Moyu knew they were not real remnants. He could feel the breath of laws on them, likely objects intertwined by some special laws. They sometimes danced wildly, sometimes remained still with no order. Their existence added a touch of horror to the entire secret realm. The secret realm had no roads or directions. Lin Moyu chose the simplest and most reliable method: circling. Just like when he searched for the primordial rune secret realm on the meteorite continent, he circled, expanding each circle a bit more than the previous one, ensuring nothing was missed. The secret realm was empty, looking gray and desolate, with nothing in sight. After flying for half a day, a sudden gust of wind howled. The wind carried a large amount of sand and stones, covering the sky and earth. The skeletal armor shone, blocking the wind and sand. Lin Moyu's ears twitched. He heard laughter in the wind and sand, a woman's charming laughter, very pleasant and melodious. With the laughter, an illusion appeared before his eyes. It seemed like a beautiful lake, with a beauty bathing, her thin veil half-transparent, extremely alluring. The beauty beckoned to Lin Moyu, every movement full of charm, captivating the soul. Lin Moyu sneered. His soul let out a light hum, and the illusion shattered. The lake disappeared, and the beauty vanished. After the wind and sand passed, a forest suddenly appeared before him. Green mountains and clear waters. The forest exuded vibrant life. Lin Moyu smiled disdainfully. Such tricks might fool others, but not him. He felt no vitality from the forest, only a pervasive death aura. The entire forest was like a dead land, devoid of life. The law of undeath surged in his eyes, and the forest was quickly covered with a layer of gray death aura. This was the forest's true appearance, decayed and filled with ghostly aura. Standing before the forest, Lin Moyu's consciousness moved. Countless undead responded, rushing into the forest with familiar clattering sounds. The forest was filled with eerie winds, and the temperature dropped sharply. The death aura in the forest was nothing to Lin Moyu. Compared to the undead legions, this death aura was insignificant. When the world of undeath descends, that is when the eerie winds blow, and the death aura thickens. Pointing to the sky, the eye of the undead opened in the air. Through the eye of the undead, Lin Moyu overlooked the entire forest like a god. He saw many living beings hidden in the forest. They had souls and were real living beings. But their forms were strange, indescribable as any specific animal. When the undead legions entered, they launched soul attacks on the legions. Soul attacks were silent and difficult to defend against. Combined with the special laws in the secret realm, the power of the soul attacks was greatly enhanced. Unfortunately, such soul attacks were too weak for the undead legions. Lin Moyu estimated the attack power to be around Super God level 7. But because it was a soul attack, it felt more troublesome. In fact, with a first-tier peak soul and soul armor protection, one could completely resist it. If the soul reached the second tier combined with soul armor protection, it could almost be ignored. With his third-tier peak soul and soul armor protection, such soul attacks were not even enough to scratch him. Seeing the situation in the forest, the undead legions began to counterattack. The special beings in the forest had soul attack abilities but were physically weak. Their defense and vitality were at most at Super God level 5. They had no resistance against the undead legion's attacks.
Ghostly Secret Realm refers to spirits and monsters in the mountains and forests. Now the forest has appeared, but the mountain has not been seen yet. The spirits and monsters should be them, otherwise they are too weak to be considered medium danger.
Lin Moyu thought as he stepped into the forest. The special beings hidden in the forest had no bodies. After death, they turned into gray gas, merging with the forest. Like the chaotic flying objects in the sky, these beings seemed to be formed by laws. Born from laws, they returned to laws after death. Soon, all the beings in the forest were swept away. The trees and plants in the forest withered at a visible speed. The green mountains and clear waters disappeared, and the entire forest became decayed and filled with death aura. 944. Chapter 944. No wonder no one takes this task. In Lin Moyu's eyes, the aura of death was at least 10 times stronger than before. The smell of decay filled his nostrils, which was very unpleasant. All the death energy began to converge towards the center of the forest, and Lin Moyu saw a gray stone in the center of the forest. The gray stone was about 5 meters high, looking like a small artificial hill. It absorbed all the death energy and suddenly transformed into a giant gray stone figure. With a light flick of his finger, the detection spell fell. Elementary ghostly spirit. Level. Super God level. Characteristics. Composed of the law of death, filled with death energy, skilled in soul attacks, weak in defense. As Lin Moyu had judged, these gray gases were actually condensed from the law of death. His own law of undeath, although different in essence from the law of death, had very similar manifestations. So Lin Moyu recognized it at a glance. This elementary ghostly spirit was at Super God level 6, and in Lin Moyu's eyes, it was just a dish. Its characteristic of being skilled in soul attacks was completely useless. The skeletal god generals responded immediately, giving the ghostly spirit no chance. A dozen skeletal god generals raised their long swords simultaneously, and the sword energy roared, instantly shattering the ghostly spirit. The ghostly spirit didn't even have time to scream before it shattered on the spot. A gray stone about the size of a head fell to the ground, rolling to Lin Moyu's feet. Gray stone, a stone containing the law of death, can be used for crafting or understanding the law of death. This was the item needed for the task. Lin Moyu picked up the gray stone, which was unexpectedly light, feeling less than half a kilogram in his hand.
It seems this is also a resource secret realm. No wonder the task specifies not to damage the secret realm. A secret realm that can produce gray stones is indeed very useful.
The function of the gray stone should not be underestimated. Just the fact that it can help people understand the law of death determines its value. The law of death belongs to the second tier of laws and is extremely powerful. Even if the law of death contained in the gray stone is thin, its existence is beneficial. Therefore, the task specifies not to cause significant damage to the secret realm. This is to avoid affecting the production of gray stones. Lin Moyu put away the gray stone, feeling a bit puzzled. Clearly, The Sea of Laws in the Human Emperor training ground already had stars representing the law of death. Practitioners can fully understand the law of death in the Human Emperor training ground. So the function of the gray stone should be greatly reduced. The two seem somewhat contradictory, and Lin Moyu couldn't understand it. After thinking for a while without figuring it out, he could only say that his knowledge was still insufficient. Lin Moyu stopped thinking about things he shouldn't be thinking about and continued circling the secret realm. Now that his task was completed, he could go back and report. The total time spent was less than a day, but he didn't want to do that. Getting more gray stones could increase the task reward. This would allow him to quickly improve his permission level. The secret realm was larger than Lin Moyu had imagined. At his speed, he had already flown hundreds of thousands of kilometers, circling countless times. After encountering a forest, there were no new discoveries.
No wonder the task time limit is set to 30 days. If you're unlucky, 30 days might not be enough. If you can't complete the task, you'll be punished, which is not worth it. It's normal that no one takes this task.
Lin Moyu was right. The reason no one took this task was that it was too time-consuming, required luck, and even if you found it, you had to spend a lot of effort to defeat the opponent, which was uncertain. Soul attacks are also so strange and intangible. Various reasons combined, leading to no one willing to take the ghostly secret realm task. Not everyone wants to quickly improve their permission level like Lin Moyu. Most people prefer to take it slow, improving their permission level and strength together. This time, Lin Moyu was not very lucky. He flew for a whole day without encountering anything. The endless secret realm space had an unchanging scenery. There was no way to distinguish directions here, and Lin Moyu even suspected if he was walking in place.
Walking in place.
Thinking of this, Lin Moyu was greatly shocked.
Could it be that I'm really walking in place?
With a thought, he released a skeleton, letting it stand still. Then, the wings of the undead vibrated, and he flew in one direction at the fastest speed. His soul power continuously urged, and Lin Moyu's speed reached the extreme, creating a slight space crack as he passed. Fully urging the wings of the undead would produce a bit of space law. The space law would make the flight speed of the wings of the undead faster, like teleportation. At this time, Lin Moyu's flight speed had reached 1,000 kilometers per second, which was his current limit speed. This speed was not enough in the great world, where distances were measured in billions of kilometers in light years. But in the small world, this speed was already quite fast. It wouldn't take long to traverse the entire small world. The same was true in the secret realm. After flying 100,000 kilometers, Lin Moyu suddenly stopped. In front of Lin Moyu was a skeletal god warrior. It was the one he had just released. After flying 100,000 kilometers, he had returned to the starting point. Then Lin Moyu flew in another direction. The same thing happened. After flying 100,000 kilometers, he returned to the starting point again. Lin Moyu understood that he was always moving within a 100,000 kilometer range.
Is this a formation, or is the secret realm just this big?
Lin Moyu fell into deep thought. It didn't seem like a formation, as he didn't feel like he was trapped in one. If the secret realm was just this big, it didn't seem possible either. Otherwise, the task wouldn't say that getting more gray stones would increase the reward. This means there must be a way to get gray stones, but he hadn't found it yet. Looking around, Lin Moyu chose the simplest and most practical method. The undead army charged in all directions. A total of 1.49 million undead army members surged in all directions. In fact, these undead army members scattered in a 100,000 kilometer diameter secret realm were not much. But each skeleton had a pair of eyes and its own unique perspective, which was much better than Lin Moyu searching alone. After the undead army tirelessly searched for several hours, they finally found something. In the sky, among the strange remnants of souls, they found a layer of mist. It was somewhat similar to the mist at the entrance of the secret realm. Passing through the mist would lead to another space. Lin Moyu finally understood that the spaces in the secret realm were independent of each other. The secret realm was like a building, and the spaces inside were like separate rooms in the building. Each room could only be connected through specific portals.
No wonder others couldn't find it. I guess after completing the task, there will be a requirement not to disclose it. Interesting.
945. Chapter 945. The ninth space, a mountain appears. Lin Moyu passed through a thin layer of mist and entered another space. This time, Lin Moyu did not search alone but let the undead army do the work for him. Soon, another forest appeared in his sight. This forest was larger than the previous one, and it contained more special life forms. These special life forms, woven from the law of death, could not be considered true life forms. At least in Lin Moyu's perception, they had no vitality. They were purely filled with death energy, with no signs of life. Derived from the laws, they could even be regarded as manifestations of the law of death. Even the entire forest was constructed from the law of death. Lin Moyu personally felt the law of death, noting both similarities and differences with his own law of undeath. The law of undeath, in the deepest part of death, contains vitality. But the law of death is extremely singular, purely death. This forest launched soul attacks on all intruders. However, under the assault of the undead army, the laws disintegrated and were quickly eradicated. The same scene played out again. The law of death in the forest completely collapsed, the forest decayed, and finally a giant called
Mimi.
Formed. The
Mimi
was quickly destroyed by the undead army, turning into a gray stone. The core of the
Mimi
was the gray stone containing the law of death. In fact, the core of the entire forest, and even this space, was the gray stone. After collecting the gray stone, the undead army began searching for the next space. Having found the method, Lin Moyu planned to clear the entire secret realm to see what lay at its end. The numerical advantage of the undead army was fully displayed at this moment. In less than 2 hours, they found the entrance to the next space. It still looked like a thin layer of gray mist, with nothing unusual about it. But when crossing the mist, Lin Moyu felt a difference.
The previous crossing time was 0.5 seconds. This time it increased to 1 second. Although it's only a 0.5 second difference, it actually doubled. And while crossing the mist, I seemed to feel an extremely dense law of death.
While crossing the mist, Lin Moyu felt like he was passing through a space-time tunnel. In the tunnel, he sensed an extremely strong law of death. Compared to the gray stone, the law of death in the tunnel was much stronger and clearer. This made Lin Moyu curious, instinctively feeling that if he could stay in the tunnel, the effect of comprehending the law of death would not be worse than in the human emperor training ground, and it would be free. But the problem was how to stay in the tunnel. He tried several times to shuttle back and forth in the tunnel but couldn't succeed and had to give up in the end. The third space was still a forest, just slightly larger in scale, with stronger internal laws. If someone at Super God level 7 came in, it would be quite troublesome to clear. The undead army quickly cleared all the special life forms constructed by the laws in the forest, and also destroyed the
Mimi.
Lin Moyu watched the whole process without lifting a finger. After obtaining the third gray stone, the undead army dispersed again to find the next tunnel. In the following days, Lin Moyu found one tunnel after another, and the undead army flattened and conquered one space after another. 3 days later, Lin Moyu had 8 gray stones in his hand. Lin Moyu had already noticed that each space was stronger than the previous one. By the 8th space, the
Mimi
giant was already quite powerful. Even someone at Super God level 8 would find it troublesome. If someone at Super God level 7 came, they might even be killed if their soul was not strong enough. The medium danger level was not just for show. Lin Moyu had to use the Death Knight to destroy it. Moreover, the transmission time between each tunnel was also increasing, now up to 4 seconds. During these 4 seconds, Lin Moyu could clearly sense the vast law of death in the tunnel. This made Lin Moyu even more curious as to why the law of death in the tunnel was stronger than in the normal secret realm spaces. This puzzling question troubled Lin Moyu until he entered the 9th space. Gray gas clusters formed clouds floating in the air. There were still remnants of souls flying in the air, but this time, the remnants had changed. The previous remnants were just images, visible but untouchable. Now, the remnants seemed to have substance.
Law of death.
Lin Moyu whispered. The dense law of death enveloped the remnants, causing them to undergo strange changes. As soon as Lin Moyu arrived, these remnants rushed towards him. They moved as fast as lightning, entering Lin Moyu's body the moment he entered the space. In Lin Moyu's soul world, a large number of remnants appeared. They transformed into various illusions. Beautiful women, fierce warriors, terrifying creatures covered in spikes, and even various weapons. Without exception, the remnants were filled with death energy, trying to corrode Lin Moyu's soul world. However, Lin Moyu's soul quality was too high, and no matter how hard they tried, they couldn't break in. A nearly crystalline glazed shield, representing a third-tier peak soul quality, firmly protected Lin Moyu.
Previously they were illusions, but this time they seem to be real remnants. Absorbing remnants can enhance soul quality. I wonder about the quality of these remnants.
Lin Moyu's soul smiled slightly, and the 9-colored dragon soul crystal emitted a dragon roar, appearing excited. The talent tree shook, and thousands of branches simultaneously pierced out, appearing outside the soul world in the next second. The branches pierced through the remnants, instantly absorbing them completely. Outside, remnants continued to attack, and the talent tree kept absorbing their power. One by one, the remnants were killed, leaving none behind. The talent tree purified the remnants' power and sent it to the soul body, which was then refined a second time by the 9-colored dragon soul crystal, leaving only the purest soul essence. This soul energy was essence capable of enhancing soul quality. Unfortunately, Lin Moyu's soul quality was too high, and the remnants' quality was relatively insufficient. After absorbing thousands of remnants, his soul still couldn't cross the threshold between the 3rd and 4th tiers. The remnants near the space tunnel were completely cleared, none of them escaping from Lin Moyu's soul world. Lin Moyu observed this space. It was different from the previous ones. The density of the law of death had increased several times. He also saw a mountain with a lake in front of it.
Previously there were only forests, now there's finally a mountain. It seems there's a very powerful soul here.
Lin Moyu's eyes showed a thoughtful look, with a hint of joy. 946, 946. Chapter 946. The origin of the secret realm. Humanity cannot be bullied. The term refers to spirits and monsters in the mountains and forests. The name given by humans is not without meaning, since it is called the
secret realm.
It must have both mountains and forests. Forests had appeared several times before, and now, finally, a mountain had appeared. Lin Moyu felt a powerful soul within the mountain. This soul was wantonly spreading, filling the entire space. The soul transformed into various shapes, intertwining with the laws, forming some strange
life forms. No wonder similar lifelike things are born in the secret realm. It's you causing trouble.
Laws are just laws and generally do not give birth to life. Unless it is a law like the law of life, which also requires some special conditions to achieve. The law of death only brings death. How could it give birth to life forms? But the soul hidden in the mountain provided Lin Moyu with the answer. The fragments of this soul scattered outside, intertwining with the law of death, eventually forming special life forms that seemed to possess life. These special life forms also had the ability to launch soul attacks. In Lin Moyu's eyes, gray and white energies flickered and intertwined, constantly jumping. He tried to see the essence of this mountain. Peeling away layers of mist, he finally saw something deeper. Beneath the surface of the mountain was a massive gray stone. The gray stone contained a vast amount of the law of death, which was the source of all the gray stones. The soul resided within the gray stone, intertwining with the law of death. For so many years, it had been continuously emitting soul fragments without disintegrating, indicating its strength. Considering the task's restriction of not causing significant damage to the secret realm, it likely referred to this soul and the mountain. The mystery was now fully solved. The massive gray stone within the mountain and the soul within the gray stone were the core of the Trime secret realm and must not be touched. If they were destroyed, the secret realm would cease to exist. For humanity, losing a source of gray stones would be a significant loss. Since these two could not be touched, Lin Moyu turned his attention elsewhere.
This forest should be movable.
The forest on the mountain was also shrouded in the law of death. Eliminating the special life forms within should also produce Trime. After dealing with the Trime, gray stones could be obtained. Since he had already reached this point, there was no reason to let it go. With a thought, the undead army swarmed out, rushing towards the forest. The forest erupted in chaos, winds howled in the sky, and the law of death fell like lightning, striking the undead. The law of death was accompanied by intense soul attacks. Unfortunately, soul attacks had no effect on the undead, who were inherently undead beings. The attack power of the law of death was only at super god level 7, which also couldn't harm the undead. The undead army swept through the forest unimpeded, quickly eliminating the special life forms within. Once they were all cleared, the entire forest rapidly decayed. All the law of death converged, transforming into a giant Trime over 500 meters tall. Advanced Trime Xinghal. Level. Super God level. Characteristics. Composed of the law of death, filled with death energy, skilled in soul attacks, weak in defense. The previous 8 spaces had all contained elementary Trime. The one before him now had become an advanced Trime. Its level had reached Super God level 8, and because it was skilled in soul attacks, it was even more troublesome than an ordinary Super God level 8. Its only weakness was its relatively weak defense. If a Super God level 8 with strong soul defense came, they could kill it. But if the soul defense was lacking, even a Super God level 9 might be in danger. According to Lin Moyu's understanding, ordinary people taking this task would not be able to reach this point. Time would not allow it. If they could truly reach this point, their strength would be more than sufficient. This task could indeed only be defined as medium danger, far from high danger. Lin Moyu's heart moved, and he lightly pointed his finger. The skeletal god generals charged forward, surrounding the advanced Trime and starting the slaughter. Sword energy crisscrossed, falling on the Trime like raindrops. It was beaten to a pulp. Even with its weak defense, it was still at Super God level 8. The skeletal god generals could harm it, but killing it would take some time. Lin Moyu was not in a hurry and didn't even pay attention to the battlefield. His gaze penetrated the mountain, looking at the gray stone within. The vast law of death emanating from the gray stone was comparable to the stars in the Sea of Laws. Lin Moyu was not very interested in the gray stone itself, but was very interested in the soul within it. Why would a soul reside within, filled with the law of death, which would destroy any living being? A living soul residing within seemed like seeking death to him. The soul within the gray stone seemed to notice Lin Moyu and emitted intense fluctuations. The entire secret realm began to shake violently. Lin Moyu saw a star rampaging through the starry sky, shattering countless stars. The fragments of the shattered stars fell onto its body and were absorbed by it. Billions of living beings on the stars died, and all their souls were absorbed by it. It continued to rampage through the starry sky, shattering more and more stars, with countless beings dying. The size grew larger and stronger. The aura of laws appeared on its body, the law of death. Lin Moyu realized that this star had consciousness and a soul. It deliberately collided with other stars, using them and their beings to enhance itself. Its laws grew stronger, its realm higher, breaking through to true God. It shattered many galaxies, one star after another, moving faster than light. Eventually, it broke through to God King. The law of death roared in the starry sky. Its main body was powerful, mastering a second-tier law, making it a strong presence among all God Kings, until it entered the territory of humanity, shattering 2 of humanity's life stars. A majestic figure appeared before it, stopping it with one hand. A human god sovereign intervened.
Beast!
2 words like a judgment decided its fate. It resisted madly, but against the God Sovereign, its resistance was futile. Finally, it was shattered, broken into pieces. The human God Sovereign did not truly kill it but erased its consciousness. It was refined into a gray stone, with its soul sealed inside. Then it was placed in a secret realm, becoming the source of gray stones, continuously providing gray stones and the law of death for humanity. Lin Moyu knew that its consciousness was erased back then, but its memory remained. Anyone who came here and could sense its soul would see this scene. This was to tell everyone that humanity cannot be bullied, and those who harm humanity will be punished severely, possibly for countless years. Lin Moyu felt the faith of humanity from this and resonated with it. 947, 947. Chapter 947. The Old Man and You, Both Masters of the World. By the time Lin Moyu came back to his senses, the high-level Treme had already been slain by the skeletal god generals. Only a large gray stone was left behind. This gray stone was slightly larger than the previous 8 and contained more of the law of death. Could be considered a premium gray stone. The forest decayed, leaving only the bare mountain body. The mountain's outer shell was a seal with a large formation operating. This formation, set by a god sovereign, was meant to draw out the gray stone. The passages connecting the various spaces were filled with dense law of death because those passages were made from gray stones refined by the god sovereign. After watching that scene, Lin Moyu understood the cause and effect. He bowed slightly towards the mountain, paying respect to the god sovereign. After obtaining the 9th gray stone, an exit appeared in the secret realm. There was no need to return the way he came. He could leave the secret realm through the exit. Lin Moyu had truly cleared the secret realm. He didn't know how many people in history had actually cleared this secret realm, but he guessed it wasn't many. Leaving the secret realm, he returned to the starry sky. Seeing the brilliant starlight again and feeling the breath of the great world, he felt as if a lifetime had passed in just a few days in the secret realm. His gaze fell on the Suzaku 50 star system. He took out the God-slaying fortress and shot towards the 50 star system. Although the speed of the God-slaying fortress was not as fast as the speed of light, it was much faster than Lin Moyu's own speed. Especially after Lin Moyu mastered 1% of the law of thunder, the speed of the God-slaying fortress became even faster. According to Lin Moyu's estimation, it had reached at least 100,000 kilometers per second, about 1/3 the speed of light. Lightning flashed in the starry sky as Lin Moyu rushed into the Suzaku 50 star system. Upon entering the star system, Lin Moyu felt a difference. The most obvious difference between a medium-level star system and a low-level star system was the laws. Here, the laws were clearer and more apparent. With a slight movement of his soul, he could sense various laws permeating the starry sky. In such an environment, comprehending the laws would become much easier. The probability of birthing supergods was also much higher. Of course, this natural manifestation of laws was not as effective as specialized law training areas. For example, training in the law of fire near a stellar core would naturally be more effective than here. This manifestation of laws mainly increased the probability of birthing supergods. The second difference was that the rules of a medium-level star system were stricter than those of a low-level star system. The Suzaku 50 star system had a total of 8 life stars, each very large and inhabited by a large number of humans. Additionally, there were 12 resource stars providing the resources needed for cultivation. Resource stars could not be harvested at will. One needed to apply and pay the corresponding points. In the human world, everything was governed by points. Lin Moyu's target was the Suzaku 50 to 1 life star. Only here was the task center located. This was the same for all star systems. The task center was only set up on the number 1 star of the system. Since entering the 50 star system, Lin Moyu increasingly felt its extraordinariness. As a master of a world, he was very familiar with the power of the world. The power of the world emanating from this star far exceeded that of his small world. If his small world was like a small stream, then the current world's power was like a great river, completely incomparable. The stronger the power of the world, the higher the probability of birthing geniuses. Compared to his small world, the current star system, with its abundant world power, would inevitably produce many geniuses. Moreover, he sensed that the world power was not scattered but united, indicating that the world had a master, and this star system had its own master. Lin Moyu was awed. To become the master of a medium-level star system, the master must be extraordinary. Most likely, the master was a god sovereign, at least a peak god king. As he approached the 50 to 1 star, Lin Moyu saw many cultivators. Most of these cultivators were true gods, with few super gods. Cultivators shuttled back and forth in the starry sky, and there was even a war god hall in the sky. It looked very prosperous. Compared to the 98 star system, it was much more lively and powerful. Lin Moyu, a super god level 3, stood out. But what stood out even more was Lin Moyu's third-level permission.
Super God level 3, third level permission, another greenhorn. Probably lacks experience. Judging by his attire, he seems to be from a low-level star system. No wonder, in low-level star systems, there are more oddities. It's not a big deal, just a waste of time. For now, he should focus on training and improving his level.
People were talking. Some voices were louder, reaching Lin Moyu's ears. Lin Moyu didn't argue. He didn't need to care about some meaningless voices. True strength doesn't need the understanding of the weak. These people, even though they were true gods, only had third-level permission. Lin Moyu felt they were far inferior to him. It wasn't arrogance or pride, but confidence. Lin Moyu's experiences and knowledge far surpassed those of ordinary super gods in the great world. Even some true gods were not his equal. He plunged into the 50 to 1 star, quickly locating the task center and flying straight down. The task center of a medium-level star system was much larger than that of a low-level star system. The task center was circular, with a diameter of over 10,000 meters, resembling a huge manor. In the center of the manor, a large, ancient house stood, exuding a heavy sense of history. Lin Moyu felt a sense of reverence just by looking at it. Outside the ancient house, tens of thousands of task rooms were neatly arranged in a circle. Lin Moyu sensed the aura of a spatial formation. The entire manor used a spatial formation, making the internal space much larger than it appeared.
Compared to a low-level star system, this is indeed much better.
Lin Moyu thought as he was about to fly over but suddenly stopped. An old man in green appeared in front of Lin Moyu. The old man looked at Lin Moyu with a smile, sizing him up. The old man showed no aura, no laws, appearing like an ordinary person. He also hid his personal information, so Lin Moyu didn't know his name or cultivation level. The more this was the case, the more cautious Lin Moyu became. He respectfully saluted the old man.
Senior, what can I do for you?
The old man chuckled.
A distinguished guest has arrived, so I came to greet you.
It was clear that the distinguished guest the old man referred to was Lin Moyu. Lin Moyu was puzzled.
Senior, you must be mistaken. I am not a distinguished guest.
The old man smiled kindly.
No mistake. A master of a world is certainly a distinguished guest.
Lin Moyu was shocked. How did this old man know he was a master of a world? Even the night wind god sovereign hadn't noticed. Or perhaps the night wind god sovereign had noticed but didn't mention it. It was possible. To a god sovereign, a small world master was insignificant. In the great world, strength was what mattered, and being a world master was of little use. The old man saw Lin Moyu's silence and smiled again.
Don't be surprised. Ordinary god sovereigns can't see that you are a world master, but I can. Because I, like you, am also a world master.
948. Chapter 948. Star-Lord God Sovereign. There must be something strange when things go wrong. The old man revealed his information, allowing Lin Moyu to see clearly. Lin Moyu saw Lin Tang, God Sovereign 4th tier, 6th level permission. Besides his name and level, Lin Tang also displayed another piece of information. Star Lord of Suzaku 50. A Star Lord is the master of a star system, not just the owner of a single life star but the entire star system. The position of Star Lord is a title within the human race, representing the management of an entire star system. In addition to this, Lin Tang had another identity, that of a world master. With these dual identities, he held supreme authority within the 50th star system. Lin Tang smiled and said,
"So, do you still doubt my identity now?"
Lin Moyu had never doubted it from the beginning. Under the Human Emperor Network's coverage, it was impossible for someone to impersonate. Lin Moyu bowed to Lin Tang and said,
"What does the Star-Lord want from me?"
Lin Tang's smile remained kind.
"Nothing much. I was just curious to see such a young world master. Lin, my young friend, why don't we find a quieter place to chat?"
They were above the task center, where people were coming and going, not a suitable place for a conversation.
Lin Moyu didn't hesitate.
"I am at your disposal."
Lin Tang laughed heartily, waved his hand, and the two of them instantly moved over 1,000 kilometers, arriving in front of a mansion. As a world master, Lin Tang could manipulate the power of the world, holding supreme authority in this world. Lin Moyu was not surprised by this, as he could do the same in his small world. Seeing Lin Moyu's calm expression, Lin Tang's eyes showed a hint of appreciation. His gaze seemed to be looking at a promising young junior.
"This is my residence. How about coming in for a cup of tea?"
Lin Tang said with a light smile. Lin Moyu felt a bit flattered.
"I would be honored."
The other party was a Star Lord, a World Master, and a 4th-tier God Sovereign. Lin Moyu was just a small fry at Super God Level 3, and his identity as a small World Master was insignificant in front of Lin Tang. Now, being invited for tea by such a person, Lin Moyu naturally wouldn't refuse. Although confident, Lin Moyu was never arrogant. He knew the gap between himself and Lin Tang. Moreover, Lin Tang was kind and unpretentious, leaving a good impression on Lin Moyu. The mansion was not small, with many people similar to servants busy inside. In the human race, there were no slaves or servants. There were, however, employees who worked for Lin Tang in exchange for payment, a fair arrangement for both parties. The two walked through a long corridor and arrived at the backyard. The backyard was simply and elegantly arranged, with a green lawn and a large, lush tree in the center. The tree was extremely lush, with branches and leaves intertwining to form a set of tables and chairs, perfect for tea. Lin Moyu was a bit surprised. The tree in the yard was not an ordinary tree but a tree of laws. It exuded a vast amount of the power of laws, far surpassing the little bit of laws Lin Moyu controlled.
"Manifestation of laws."
Lin Moyu sighed inwardly. At the super god level, one could form and comprehend laws, the strongest means of super gods. However, most super gods couldn't achieve this. At the true god level, there was another, more powerful means, the manifestation of the soul. The soul and laws fused, with laws as the exterior and the soul as the core, manifesting in the world. God kings further fused and sublimated the two, transforming into the domain of soul laws. Finally, there were God sovereigns. God sovereigns had completely mastered a certain law, entering the river of laws. Every move could utilize the power of the river of laws. They could manifest laws at will, creating various strange scenes in the real world according to their preferences. The tree before them was manifested by Lin Tang using his laws. However, this manifestation carried a strong personal will, not the original form of the laws, and couldn't be used to comprehend laws. It was different from the manifestation of laws in Lin Moyu's soul. Lin Tang could tell from Lin Moyu's eyes that he recognized the manifestation of laws and smiled.
"Can you tell what law I used?"
Lin Moyu closed his eyes and sensed.
"From the tree, there seems to be a breath of the law of life, but it's not entirely that. My limited knowledge makes it hard to discern."
Lin Tang lau ghét hơi ti ti li.
"It's normal not to see it. What I used is actually the law of wood, but I elevated it with a layer of the law of life. The law of life is a second-tier law in the great world. Although I have some understanding, I haven't fully mastered it."
Lin Tang spoke frankly, without any reservations. Lin Moyu felt that Lin Tang was a straightforward person, not one to beat around the bush. just like how he directly approached Lin Moyu this time. Lin Tang said,
You might be wondering why someone of my status would come to you so directly.
Lin Moyu nodded.
You must have your reasons, senior.
Lin Tang laughed twice but didn't immediately answer. At this moment, a servant brought over a tea set, with steam rising and a fragrant aroma wafting through the air. The tea was ready, but from the aroma, it seemed to need a bit more time to reach perfection. The yard became extremely quiet, with only the sound of the wind rustling the leaves. Lin Tang plucked a leaf from the tree and threw it into the pot. Lin Moyu watched as the originally light green tea instantly turned emerald green, as beautiful as jade. Lin Tang personally poured tea for Lin Moyu, making him feel even more flattered. A god sovereign personally pouring tea was beyond Lin Moyu's imagination.
I've infused a bit of the law of wood into the tea, transforming ordinary tea leaves into law tea. Please have a taste.
Lin Moyu took the cup but didn't drink immediately. Instead, he asked,
Senior, can you tell me why you sought me out?
Although he knew the other party had no ill intentions, Lin Moyu was still puzzled. As a god sovereign and star lord, why was Lin Tang being so courteous to him? There must be something unusual.
Lin Tang lau ghét hơi ti ti li.
It's nothing much. You might not know, but this isn't the first time I've seen you.
Lin Moyu thought for a moment and confirmed he hadn't met Lin Tang before. But since the other party said so, there was only one possibility.
You must have seen me at the Human Emperor Arena.
Lin Tang smiled.
Your performance back then left a deep impression on me. To be honest, I investigated you afterward and learned some things about you. I want to recommend a master for you.
Lin Moyu's heart skipped a beat. Recommend a master?
Could it be the same person that Domain Lord Zhu Tian recommended?
Lin Moyu thought to himself and asked,
Senior, the person you recommend, is he from the Divine City?
949, 949. Chapter 949. Should you consider marrying a few more? Lin Tang raised an eyebrow, a hint of surprise in his eyes.
Why do you say that?
Lin Moyu did not hide anything.
Not long ago, another senior also wanted to recommend a master for me.
A gust of wind blew, rustling the leaves. Lin Tang slapped the table.
Which old guy is so shameless?
As soon as he said it, he realized something was off. Wasn't he scolding himself too? He immediately changed his tone.
Who is that senior, if you don't mind sharing?
Faced with Lin Tang's question, Lin Moyu couldn't avoid answering.
It was the Domain Lord. So, it's that old guy.
Lin Tang's initial reaction was still a bit angry, but his tone softened in the latter half. Lin Tang blew his beard.
What did he say to you?
Lin Moyu roughly recounted the situation at that time. After listening, Lin Tang asked,
Did he tell you who the recommended master was?
Lin Moyu shook his head.
He did not.
From his words, Lin Moyu could basically confirm that the masters recommended by both were the same person. Who could have such a high status to be recommended by both the Domain Lord and the Star Lord, both god sovereigns? It was likely that the person held a significant position in the Divine City. Since Lin Moyu was not familiar with the situation in the Divine City, he couldn't make further guesses. Lin Tang said,
You are very honest. Since that's the case, I can't tell you either.
Lin Tang's eyes had a sly look, with a hint of mischief. Lin Moyu felt helpless. This senior seemed a bit playful. However, he hadn't intended to dig too deeply. He didn't have strong feelings about becoming that person's disciple. If it happened, it happened. If not, it didn't matter. Lin Moyu believed that he was his own greatest reliance. Relying on others was not as good as relying on oneself. Lin Tang stared at Lin Moyu, and Lin Moyu stared back at Lin Tang. The two of them locked eyes. There was a glint in Lin Tang's eyes, as if he was thinking about something. Lin Moyu felt that Lin Tang's gaze was becoming increasingly strange, making him a bit uneasy.
The tea is getting cold.
Lin Tang suddenly said. Lin Moyu responded with an
Oh.
and realized that he had been holding the teacup for quite a while. He took a sip and felt a strong vitality rush to his mind. The law of wood, with a mastery of 100%, had entered the river of laws, undergoing a strange transformation. Although it was just a trace of the law of wood, for Lin Moyu, a small fry at Super God level 3, it was already astonishing. Lin Moyu felt as if he was bathed in the spring breeze. The law of wood stirred up a breeze, blowing into Lin Moyu's soul world, making a whistling sound. The talent tree absorbed this trace of the law of wood and shook violently. The nearly crystalline soul glaze broke through the final barrier, truly transforming into crystal. The soul also completed its transformation, with the last trace of gold disappearing, turning into a semi-transparent jade color. A jade-like soul, a crystal world. The soul completed its transformation from the peak of the 3rd grade to the 4th grade. A divine aura emanated from Lin Moyu, and a towering tree appeared in the void. The talent tree manifested in the real world, with countless branches hanging down, appearing even more divine than the law tree in the courtyard. Lin Moyu's soul also manifested with the talent tree, appearing in the world. He looked like a deity, eyes slightly closed, sitting cross-legged under the giant tree. The originally clear sky suddenly turned gloomy. Gusts of cold wind howled in the air, and day and night alternated in an instant. The undead world appeared in the sky. Countless undead roared in the undead world, silver-white flames rolling, and the eye of the undead hung high like a blazing sun. The talent tree, the soul body, and the undead world all manifested in the real world at this moment. Lin Moyu was unaware of this, as he was immersed in the transformation of his soul. Lin Tang was stunned, holding his teacup, his hand trembling slightly, muttering,
4th grade soul. Super God level 3 4th grade soul. Am I hallucinating from cultivation? How can a Super God level 3 have a 4th grade soul? This doesn't make sense. This doesn't make sense. It's impossible.
Lin Tang felt like he was going crazy. Lin Moyu was clearly only at Super God level 3, yet he had a 4th grade soul. 1st grade for Super Gods, 2nd grade for True Gods, 3rd grade for God Kings, 4th grade represented God Sovereigns. In other words, Lin Moyu was destined to become a God Sovereign. After coming back to his senses, Lin Tang's gaze towards Lin Moyu completely changed. Even if Lin Moyu didn't become that person's disciple, he was destined to be a God Sovereign. This little guy who was only at Super God level 3 was at least going to be a God Sovereign in the future. Moreover, he was also a world master. When he became a God Sovereign, his small world would enter the great world, transforming into a star system, at least a medium-level star system, putting Lin Moyu on equal footing with him. Even Lin Tang realized he was thinking too far ahead. Lin Moyu was still young. He couldn't be judged by his current level. Could be said that Lin Moyu's future was limitless.
I was wrong. With his talent, who could compete with him? The position of the City Lord's disciple is undoubtedly his. But the Domain Lord has already chosen him, so I can't compete with the Domain Lord.
Lin Tang's mind raced, and he quickly came up with an idea. In just a few seconds, the undead world and the talent tree disappeared. Lin Moyu woke up from his soul transformation, fully aware of what had happened. He hadn't expected that advancing to a 4th grade soul would cause such a scene. Fortunately, from the outside, the specific details couldn't be seen. Moreover, Lin Tang was a senior of the human race and should be trustworthy. Lin Tang's gaze was calm.
Are you surprised?
Lin Moyu nodded. What had just happened was indeed unexpected. Lin Tang said,
When the soul reaches the 4th grade, it will manifest once. This is to receive the recognition of the great world's laws. Everyone goes through this, so don't be surprised. I'm curious, you're only at Super God level 3. How did your soul reach the 4th grade? But you don't need to answer. This is your secret, and I won't pry. Since the Domain Lord has already taken the lead, I will naturally step back.
Lin Tang spoke sincerely, and Lin Moyu responded,
Thank you, Senior.
Lin Tang waved his hand.
But I have a question for you, young friend.
That unsettling gaze reappeared, and Lin Moyu could only brace himself.
Senior, please ask. How old are you, young friend? I know people from small worlds usually marry early. Have you married and had children?
Lin Moyu did not hide.
I am 28 years old and already married. Oh, 28 years old. What, you're only 28?
Lin Tang couldn't hold back and jumped up. He looked at Lin Moyu in disbelief.
You're only 28?
Lin Moyu nodded.
Almost 29.
Lin Tang said repeatedly,
28 is 28. Being married is fine. But have you considered marrying a few more?
950. Chapter 950. Having only 4 wives is too few, at least 10. Lin Tang's words left Lin Moyu both amused and exasperated. Before Lin Moyu could respond, Lin Tang continued,
Don't be in a hurry to refuse. I have 2 great-granddaughters who are very beautiful and quite talented.
As he spoke, he pointed his finger, and an image appeared before Lin Moyu's eyes. The image, woven from the power of laws, depicted the appearance of 2 young women. Lin Tang said,
These are my 2 great-granddaughters. Not bad, right? If you agree, I will arrange for both sisters to marry you.
Looking at the 2 sisters in the image, Lin Moyu felt even more amused and exasperated. The 2 women were Lin Xiaoyu and Lin Xiaoyu, the sisters. Lin Moyu could only say,
Thank you for your kindness, Senior, but I already have 4 wives and haven't thought about marrying more.
Lin Tang ca xua vip lít.
Only 4? With your talent, having only 4 wives is a waste. You should marry more to help our human race flourish. You must know, during the most difficult times for our human race, the population was less than 1/1000th of what it is now.
Lin Tang went on to talk about the history of the human race. Basically, he explained that during those times, many humans died, and to maintain the population, some exceptionally talented individuals married many women and had many children. The talent of one generation affects the next. As a result, through the relentless efforts of these strong individuals, the human race produced batch after batch of strong individuals. These strong individuals became heroes in their own right. Lin Tang patted the table.
You've only married 4, that's not enough. You should marry at least 10.
Lin Moyu never expected that this god sovereign would try to push women onto him.
Senior, it's really not possible.
Lin Moyu refused outright very decisively. Lin Tang did not give up and waved his hand.
Don't be in a hurry to refuse, think it over. Senior, how about we change the topic? We haven't finished this topic yet, what is there to change? Really, we can talk about something else.
Lin Moyu didn't even know how he left Lin Tang's residence. In the end, he did not agree. Although Lin Xiaoyu and Lin Xiaoyu were indeed beautiful and each had their own charm. But he was not a lustful person. His 4 wives were still in the coffin of eternal sleep. How could he marry others? Lin Moyu found it hard to deal with Lin Tang. He realized that when such an old senior became shameless, his face was thicker than the dragon scales of Antares.
I wonder how Antares is doing.
Since coming to the great world, he had completely lost contact with Antares. Thinking about it now, it was really hard to get used to. In the past, whenever he had a problem or something to discuss, he could always consult Antares. Now he had to figure everything out on his own. The medium-level star system was much more prosperous than the low-level star system. Above, many true god-level cultivators were coming and going. Occasionally, he could even see god-king-level strong individuals. But the most numerous were still the super god-level cultivators. As the level just above ordinary people, super god-level cultivators were always the most numerous, almost constantly being produced. From a distance, Lin Moyu saw a queue. Hundreds of super god-level cultivators at the first and second stages were lining up, and the end of the queue was the registration center. Each of them had a guide accompanying them. Lin Moyu thought about how he had also lined up to register when he first arrived.
I wonder how senior sister Gu is doing.
Lin Moyu thought of Gu Qingxian. When he first entered the great world, Gu Qingxian had taught him many things. As he was thinking, a familiar voice suddenly reached his ears.
Junior brother Lin.
A smile appeared on Lin Moyu's lips. Just as he thought of Gu Qingxian, she appeared. Looking up, he saw Gu Qingxian descending from the sky. Lin Moyu smiled and cupped his hands in greeting.
Congratulations, senior sister Gu, on advancing to true God.
Gu Qingxian had reached the first stage of true God, but her aura was still a bit unstable, indicating she had just advanced. Clearly, Gu Qingxian was in a good mood.
It's just a small advancement. What brings you here, junior brother Lin?
Lin Moyu replied.
I took a task that brought me here, and I wanted to see what a medium-level star system is like.
Gu Qingxian then noticed that Lin Moyu had already reached the third stage of Super God and had also advanced to third-level permission. She covered her mouth in shock, her beautiful eyes widening.
How did you advance so quickly?
Lin Moyu's speed was too fast. In less than 2 months since arriving in the Great World, he had advanced from the first stage of Super God to the third stage, and his permission level had directly increased to the third level. From the second to the third level, although it only required 10,000 points, each task only rewarded 50 to 100 points. It was impossible for Lin Moyu to complete multiple tasks every day. What kind of advancement speed was this? It was beyond Gu Qingxuan's imagination. Gu Qingxian stared at Lin Moyu, waiting for his answer. Lin Moyu smiled.
I just got lucky.
Gu Qingxian quickly asked.
How did you get lucky? Tell me.
Her eyes shone with a desire for knowledge. Lin Moyu said,
I took on the Human Emperor Arena tasks and continuously challenged them.
Gu Qingxian exclaimed.
You mean you won consecutively?
She had also taken on this task and knew the rules. The first match was against an opponent of the same level, and with each victory the rewards increased exponentially, but the opponent's strength also increased each time. Lin Moyu nodded.
Yes, I won a few matches. A few matches? 6 matches? I didn't win the 7th. Did you lose? I didn't lose, but I didn't win either. It was a draw.
Gu Qingxian counted on her fingers.
1 match. Multiplied, that's 6,300 points. No wonder you advanced so quickly. How did you manage that? Your ability to challenge higher levels is terrifying. People from your small world aren't usually this terrifying.
Lin Moyu said softly.
I was just lucky. All right, let's drop this topic. Anyway, since you entered the War God Hall, everything about you has been unusual.
Gu Qingxian didn't want to ask any more questions. The more she asked, the more she felt defeated. Her years of hard work seemed so easy and casual to Lin Moyu. Gu Qingxian changed the topic.
You've reached third-level permission, so the chain tasks have started, right?
Lin Moyu nodded.
Yes, they have. I need to complete 10 tasks first. I've already completed the first one and am about to submit the second. Let's go together. I also need to submit a task.
Gu Qingxian said generously. The two walked towards the task center together, their steps seemingly slow but actually fast. Gu Qingxian matched Lin Moyu's pace, maintaining a speed equal to his. Returning to the ancient and solemn task center, Lin Moyu felt the weight of history as he stepped inside. 951. Chapter 951. Do you have any questions? In the task center, there was a formation that expanded the space. Thousands of task platforms stood within, and most of them had people in front of them. Many people were selecting tasks, as the quality of the tasks related to their difficulty and rewards. Every time a task was executed, it had to be carefully chosen. Under the strict surveillance of the Human Emperor Network, no one could cheat. Lin Moyu understood that the high-level human race did this to cultivate individual problem-solving abilities. If there were guides and techniques, the people cultivated would only follow in the footsteps of their predecessors. In this way, they would never surpass their predecessors, let alone reach new heights. Gu Qingxian was obviously not here for the first time and walked straight to the central manual counter. There was a long queue in front of the manual counter, with many people waiting to submit their tasks. Gu Qingxian sighed.
This is the downside of a medium-level star system. There are too many people, and every time you submit a task, you have to wait for a long time.
Lin Moyu looked at the queue ahead and calculated that it would take about 10 minutes, which wasn't too long. Since he was here, he might as well wait. There were indeed many people on medium-level star systems. No wonder true gods were rarely seen on low-level star systems. They were all concentrated here. Lin Moyu asked,
Have you been to a high-level star system?
Gu Qingxian nodded.
I went once with my master. What was it like? What was it like?
Gu Qingxian thought for a moment.
True gods everywhere. Super gods are like dogs, and there are many god kings. At that time, I was only at super god level 6 and didn't even dare to breathe. The pressure from the god kings was too overwhelming. At that time, I thought I would never go to a high-level star system until I became a god king.
It was clear she had some resentment towards high-level star systems. Lin Moyu was a bit surprised. He didn't expect the usually cool Gu Qingxian to have such a side. Gu Qingxian said,
By the way, what task did you do? The secret realm task, looking for gray stones.
Lin Moyu answered honestly. Gu Qingxian let out a low exclamation.
Why did you take that task? That task is too time-consuming and difficult. Many people who took it couldn't complete it and were penalized. Although the penalty isn't severe, it affects the performance in chain tasks, making it not worth it.
Lin Moyu smiled.
I didn't know the task was so difficult, but fortunately, I completed it.
The Trime secret realm task was indeed difficult for others, as just finding the secret realm could waste half the time. But for him, it was really simple. Gu Qingxian said,
It's good that you completed it. In the future, be more careful when choosing tasks. Not all tasks are suitable. You need to discern carefully. At the third level permission, the tasks are not too many or too difficult. When you reach the fourth level permission, the number of tasks will increase significantly, and the difficulty will also rise sharply. You need to be extra cautious then, as failing a task can affect your rating. A low rating will make it hard to enter the Divine City. Look at those people selecting tasks. They take a long time and are very cautious.
Gu Qingxian, like a good teacher, tirelessly taught Lin Moyu. Lin Moyu smiled.
Thank you for the reminder, Senior Sister Gu.
Gu Qingxian obviously hadn't finished.
My master said that luck also plays a part in choosing tasks. Each task is different for each person. Some are suitable, and some are not. If you're lucky enough, you can get good tasks even with your eyes closed. But it seems your luck isn't that great. Otherwise, you wouldn't have taken the secret realm task.
Lin Moyu had never heard of luck playing a role in choosing tasks. Seeing Lin Moyu's disbelief, Gu Qingxian said seriously,
Don't doubt it, it's true. My master said that when you reach the God Sovereign level, you'll understand how important luck is.
Lin Moyu nodded.
I think my luck has always been good. Let's hope so.
As they talked, it was their turn. Gu Qingxian took out several true God-level artifacts and successfully submitted her task, letting out a long sigh of relief.
Finally completed. Fortunately, I got an excellent rating for this task, so it won't affect my overall evaluation.
Lin Moyu smiled slightly. Gu Qingxuan's goal was to enter the Divine City, and the task evaluation was very important to her. In fact, it was important to everyone. For human cultivators with ambition, the goal was to enter the Divine City. Whether they could enter the Divine City depended on the overall evaluation given by the Human Emperor Network. The overall evaluation was complex, including daily performance, combat power, potential, problem-solving ability, and task execution. Among these, task execution was a very important aspect. Gu Qingxian stepped aside.
Your turn.
Lin Moyu walked to the counter. On a medium-level star system, the staff at the counter were no longer ordinary people but a super god. Seeing that Lin Moyu was only at super god level 3 but had third-level permission, the staff was slightly surprised. His eyes showed a hint of amusement, but he remained polite.
What task would you like to submit?
Lin Moyu said.
Third level task. Go to the secret realm and find gray stones.
The staff quickly found the corresponding task.
I have found the task. Please submit the gray stones.
Lin Moyu said.
This task allows for the submission of multiple gray stones to increase the reward.
The staff nodded.
Indeed, how many would you like to submit?
Although he said this, his tone changed slightly. It was clear he didn't believe Lin Moyu could submit multiple gray stones. For the Trime Secret Realm task, submitting one gray stone to complete the task was already impressive. Submitting multiple gray stones was rare. Moreover, Lin Moyu was only at Super God level 3, making it even more unlikely. Lin Moyu directly took out the gray stones he had obtained. 9 gray stones were placed on the counter, with one particularly large one, considered a premium gray stone. The staff was stunned, and Gu Qingxian was also shocked. 9 gray stones, something she had never seen before. Gu Qingxian swallowed.
I remember my master saying that the secret realm has 9 levels. Did you clear all of them?
Lin Moyu nodded.
Yes, I cleared all of them. You're a monster.
Gu Qingxian was speechless. In her memory, since the Trime Secret Realm appeared, no one had cleared it. Many had completed the task, and some had obtained 2 or 3 gray stones. But clearing all levels was unheard of. The staff was stunned, too shocked to speak. Lin Moyu asked,
Do you have any questions?
952, 952. Chapter 952. A task with no drawbacks. The staff finally came to their senses and repeatedly said there was no problem. Lin began the verification process according to the procedure. The task center had a formation connected to the Human Emperor network. The light from the formation shone on the gray stone, and the verification was quickly completed. Then, the staff received a notification that the task was completed. However, the specific rewards were not visible to him. These were personal to Lin Moyu, and only he knew them. At the moment the task was completed, Lin Moyu received a message from the Human Emperor network.
Congratulations, you are the first to complete the task, 100%. In addition to the regular task rewards, you will receive extra rewards. Original task reward, 1,500 points. For each additional gray stone, an extra 2,000 points. Total task reward, 17,500 points. Received a premium gray stone, special reward, 5,000 points. First to achieve 100% task completion, extra reward, 1 day at the Human Emperor training ground. Note, level ignored.
Seeing the rewards, Lin Moyu was slightly stunned, his eyes showing a bit of excitement. The rewards were too generous, exceeding his expectations. Gu Qingxian repeatedly asked,
Quick, tell me, what are the rewards? Let's talk somewhere else. Okay.
Lin Moyu and Gu Qingxian left the task center and found a secluded place.
Task reward, 22,500 points.
A total reward of 22,500 points for a level 3 task was astronomical, equivalent to more than a dozen level 3 tasks. Lin Moyu checked his points. He was already more than a third of the way to the 100,000 points needed for level 4 permissions. If he could do a few more tasks like this, he could reach level 4 permissions. But Lin Moyu knew that was not feasible. Level 4 permissions corresponded to tasks starting at the True God level. With his current strength, he couldn't complete True God level tasks. And after the experience with the Starlight Mist Spirit, Lin Moyu felt he needed to improve his strength. Gu Qingxian, full of envy, said,
When I do level 3 tasks, each task at most gives me 2,000 points. One of your tasks is worth more than a dozen of mine.
She seemed to be extremely aggrieved, her face full of frustration. Lin Moyu couldn't help but tease Gu Qingxian again.
I am the first to complete the task 100%, so there is an extra reward.
Gu Qingxian exclaimed again, covering her mouth.
This task has never been completed 100% before?
Lin Moyu nodded.
It seems so. The Human Emperor Network should not be wrong. Of course not. The Human Emperor Network has never been wrong. I'm just surprised that this task has never been completed 100%. It seems that among level 3 tasks, the task is really difficult.
From Gu Qingxuan's explanation, Lin Moyu understood that some tasks have completion rates. Achieving 100% completion is not easy, but if achieved, the rewards are very generous. So some people who consider themselves highly capable specifically choose tasks with completion rates, hoping to achieve 100% completion. Unfortunately, tasks are fair, and each task can only be done once with only one chance. Over the years, some level 3 tasks have not been completed 100%. Lin Moyu couldn't help but consider whether he should specifically target these tasks. Gu Qingxian asked,
What is the extra reward? I've only heard it's very generous. You can train at the Human Emperor training ground for 100 days.
Lin Moyu revealed the reward. Gu Qingxuan's expectant face immediately showed some disappointment.
Only 100 days? That's not much.
Lin Moyu added,
It says this reward ignores levels.
Ah! Gu Qingxian exclaimed again. She felt she had never been so out of control in her life as she was today. It seemed that since meeting Lin Moyu, her out-of-control moments had increased dramatically. Gu Qingxian swallowed, full of envy.
You must use this reward at the God King level, remember. Why?
Lin Moyu was puzzled. Gu Qingxian explained,
Because the Human Emperor training ground charges different fees for each level. The Super God level is 1,000 points per day, the True God level is 10,000 points per day, and the God King level is 100,000 points per day. Your 100 days, if used at the God King level, is equivalent to 10 million points.
Lin Moyu understood. No wonder it was noted that the reward ignored levels. Using it now and using it in the future would be vastly different.
But why not use it at the God Sovereign level?
Gu Qingxian snorted.
Nonsense. A God Sovereign would have already increased their law mastery to 100%, so they wouldn't need to go to the Human Emperor training ground. The place a God Sovereign would go to is the training ground in the central divine city.
When she said this, Gu Qingxian showed a strong sense of longing. The central divine city was her pursuit, her dream, her ultimate goal. Lin Moyu said,
Thank you, I understand.
Although Gu Qingxian had been heavily hit, she was also happy for Lin Moyu. She knew very well that the better Lin Moyu performed, the more benefits she would receive. Her chain task was not yet over, and when it was, there would be a comprehensive evaluation. During this period, Lin Moyu's performance was also a task assessment criterion. Since she was Lin Moyu's guide, it was not just a simple introduction. It would have a lasting impact. 0. Gu Qingxian, full of envy and jealousy, pulled Lin Moyu back to the task center.
Let's go. Let's take on a task and see what you can get this time.
The two returned to the task center and each found a task station. Gu Qingxian looked for a suitable task for herself. She had just been promoted to True God, and her permissions were still at level 3. She said that after a few more tasks, she could be promoted to level 4 permissions. But Gu Qingxian didn't want to do that. She wanted to improve her cultivation to the 3rd stage of True God before advancing to level 4 permissions. Otherwise, many tasks in level 4 permissions would be unmanageable, causing problems. When she said this, she was also telling Lin Moyu, advancing permissions too quickly is not a good thing. Cultivation also needs to keep up, and more understanding of this great world is needed. This is the purpose of the Human Emperor task system. Lin Moyu understood this principle and fully accepted Gu Qingxuan's advice. He looked through the tasks, searching for one suitable for himself. After looking for a long time, Lin Moyu found a task.
Explore a strange star and find the root of the changes. Time limit, 10 days. Reward, 1,000 points. No penalty for failure.
Without penalties, it would not be included in the comprehensive evaluation. But if completed, there would be rewards which could also be included in the chain task. Such a task with no drawbacks was likely to be popular. Before taking the task, Lin Moyu consulted Gu Qingxian, and her answer was the same as he thought. 953, 953. Chapter 953, Strange Star, Undying Law. Lin Moyu emerged from the teleportation array, and the first thing he saw was the Suzaku 133 life star system. The strange star mentioned in the task was near the star system. After several tasks, Lin Moyu had somewhat understood the naming rules of the human world. In the star system, the name Suzaku represented the Suzaku star system. If there were several zeros following it, it indicated a non-life star system without human inhabitants. Those directly marked with a specific number were life star systems inhabited by humans. For example, the Suzaku star system in front of him was a life star system with human inhabitants, while the previous Suzaku 0000 star system was a non-life star system without human inhabitants. This way, the naming was straightforward and easy to understand. After the Great Disaster, the human race adopted this method for naming. According to the information, before the Great Disaster, humans gave each star an independent name. However, those names were too complex and hard to remember, so they later used numbers for naming, retaining only the names of the 4 major star regions: Suzaku, Xuanwu, Qinglong, and Baihu. These 4 star regions were said to be named after the 4 divine beasts that the human race once raised, which made great contributions during the Great Disaster. In his previous life in the Huaxia world, Lin Moyu had also heard the names of the 4 divine beasts, which were mythological legends. Lin Moyu speculated that his previous life in the Huaxia world was just a small world. Some things from the great world somehow passed into the small world, forming various mythological legends and even becoming part of the culture and language. Sitting in the god-slaying fortress, watching the changing starry sky outside, Lin Moyu once again checked the specific details of the task. Level 3 task. Explore the strange star and find the root of the changes. Located near the Suzaku 133 star system, there is a strange star with gray and white colors. The gray area has no life, while the white area is full of vitality. Explore the root of the changes in this star and report to the Human Emperor Network. Restriction. Do not cause damage to the star. Completion condition. Limited to 10 days. Basic task reward of 1,000 points. No penalty for failure. If the root is discovered, different rewards will be given based on the degree of discovery. Note: the gray part contains a power similar to the law of death. Please be careful. Lin Moyu was shocked when he saw the detailed information of the task. According to the task description, it was very similar to his undying law. Gray and white, gray representing death, and white representing vitality. The two forces were both opposing and intertwined, very mysterious.
The Human Emperor Network does not have the undying law, and even mistakenly identified my undying law as the law of death and the law of life. This means that the undying law has never appeared among humans. The undying law truly exists, but humans have not discovered it. Perhaps it exists in some special race.
Lin Moyu thought to himself as he saw a strange star in his sight. The star was half gray and half white, divided evenly along the middle line. The two colors were perfectly balanced, neither more nor less. Lin Moyu saw many cultivators in the starry sky and on the star. There were super god-level cultivators and true god-level cultivators of the first and second stages. As he thought, this task had no penalties, only rewards. Although each person could only take it once and had only 10 days, it still attracted many people. Many people were discussing and making various guesses, looking for possibilities. Many entered the star to experience it firsthand and search for the root. Lin Moyu looked from a distance and was stunned.
The undying law.
He immediately recognized that the gray and white colors of the star were his undying law. The entire star was like a law star in the law sea of the Human Emperor training ground. Although it did not emit the aura of the law, it emitted the corresponding power. Lin Moyu knew he could not be mistaken. He was too familiar with the undying law, which was his life law. How could he be wrong? The star was not large, with a diameter of less than 1,000 kilometers, making it an inconspicuous small star in the great world. But it was so peculiar, attracting everyone's attention. Lin Moyu's arrival drew some people's attention. Seeing that Lin Moyu was only at the third stage of the super god level with level 3 permissions, many people showed disdain.
Unless he is a super genius, he must be a big fool.
Most people preferred to believe that Lin Moyu was a big fool rather than a super genius.
Super god third stage doing a level 3 task. There are very few such tasks. Instead of improving his cultivation, he is taking on tasks. I really don't know what he is thinking. Young people nowadays lack determination and aim too high. Maybe he is a super genius. How many super geniuses are there? But then again, there aren't many big fools nowadays either. Indeed, but there are still some.
Lin Moyu couldn't be bothered to explain to these people. To him, they were the epitome of ignorance. He couldn't possibly explain to these ignorant people that he was a super genius. That would be too ridiculous. Lin Moyu watched the starry sky for a while, then flew down to the star, standing on the gray and white dividing line. Left hand death, right hand life. Lin Moyu could clearly feel the two opposing forces. Very familiar, it was undoubtedly the undying law. However, the power on the star was too weak, not yet at the level of the law. The gray death area was filled with the power of death, corroding everything within it. In this area, nothing grew, and even some rocks were corroded. Apart from gray, there was no other color. Many true god-level cultivators were in this area, using their powerful strength to form shields to resist the corrosion of death. However, they couldn't stay long, at most half a day before leaving. In the deathly world, no one could endure staying long. In contrast, the white area full of vitality had more people. The white area exuded vitality, giving people a sense of hope and comfort, even making them feel immersed. Lin Moyu stood in the middle of the two colors, with gray and white energy swirling in his hands. Being here, he felt a sense of familiarity, like coming home. An invisible wind blew, and his ears twitched as if he heard some strange sounds. It seemed like a voice was calling him. Lin Moyu wasn't sure if he was hallucinating. After carefully sensing for a while, he entered the gray area without looking back. 954, 954. Chapter 954. Polar Reversal Law Domain. The gray area of the book is filled with death. For others, it is not a good place. But for Lin Moyu, it feels like home, even with a touch of familiarity. The star wind blowing through always carries a faint call, calling Lin Moyu to come over. Lin Moyu follows the guidance of the wind, searching for that bit of life within the death. If it is truly the undying law, if his senses are correct, then there must be a trace of life within the world of death. However, this trace of life is extremely weak, almost imperceptible and invisible. Without the undying law, even with a fourth-grade soul, Lin Moyu would find it difficult to sense it. After searching for half a day, he finally found that trace of life within the death. From the surface, there is no difference at all. Even with soul sensing, it is impossible to detect any difference. It is just a fingertip-sized point, less than a millimeter in protrusion, containing the faintest trace of life. No matter how strong the surrounding death energy is, it cannot completely erase this trace of life. The principle of
extremes meet
seems to apply here. Lin Moyu felt as if he had some enlightenment. This trace of life is even rarer than the undying law he controls. Such a phenomenon made Lin Moyu feel deeply.
Could it be that the deeper meaning of the undying law is to press the life within death to the extreme, and the death within life as well? In the extreme suppression, a brilliant explosion occurs. If this is the case, then there should also be death within the area of life.
Thinking of this, Lin Moyu immediately headed towards the area of life. Some people in the starry sky were watching Lin Moyu. His super god third stage with level 3 permissions made him too conspicuous. Seeing Lin Moyu leave the area of death and head towards the area of life, they couldn't help but mock.
He couldn't hold on for even this long. How pathetic. It seems he is not a super genius, Just an ignorant fool.
Some people stopped paying attention to Lin Moyu, thinking he left because he couldn't withstand the threat of the death area. They had no idea what Lin Moyu was doing. Lin Moyu entered the white area full of life, searching for the almost non-existent trace of death in this world full of vitality. The call brought by the star wind still existed, as if it had never stopped. From beginning to end, it made Lin Moyu feel familiar. After arriving here, Lin Moyu felt like he had returned home. The feeling was very strange, both real and illusory. Even Lin Moyu himself couldn't distinguish the truth. Finally, he found a tiny trace of death in the white area. It was also a small protruding point, smaller than a fingertip, very inconspicuous. But within this small point, there was a trace of death. Life contains death, and death contains life. At this moment, Lin Moyu was absolutely certain that the strange star indeed contained the power of the undying law. However, for some reason, the undying law did not manifest itself. It had turned into a strange star with a diameter of over 1,000 kilometers, black and white interwoven, in the starry sky. Upon finding the points of life and death, Lin Moyu knew what he had to do. He needed to trigger the life within death and the death within life. Under extreme pressure, they would fully explode. Lin Moyu returned to the middle line and chose a position. This position was exactly in the middle of the points of life and death. He threw out two laws, the law full of vitality into the area of death, and the law full of death into the area of life. The two laws, with completely opposite properties, simultaneously landed on the points of life and death. Boom! The entire strange star was suddenly ignited, bursting into brilliant light. Except for Lin Moyu, everyone on the star was expelled, and no one could stay. Even those outside the star were pushed away by a powerful force. The strange star shone brightly in the starry sky, and within a radius of 10,000 miles, no one could approach. Only Lin Moyu stood in the star, closing his eyes and sensing the changes. The areas of life and death were exchanging. The vitality in the gray area of death was becoming stronger, and the death in the white area of life was also becoming more intense. Both were suppressed to the extreme and then exploded. With the force of a landslide and tsunami, they suppressed the original attributes.
Polar reversal. Life and death exchange. Yin and yang fusion. Control life and death at will.
A large number of insights rose in his mind, flooding in and spreading throughout his soul world. In the soul world, the Law Star River suddenly appeared. The Law Star River shone brightly, bringing countless profound truths, echoing and flying in the soul world. Lin Moyu's understanding of the undying law continued to improve. $4%, 5%, 6% in less than a day. His understanding of the undying law had increased to $6%. His soul level also rose, quickly reaching the level of the Super God 6 stage. The talent giant tree shook violently, and many branches extended, wrapping around Lin Moyu's soul. The soul power accumulated during this time was fully released at this moment. This soul power, refined by the talent giant tree and the 9-colored dragon soul crystal, was extremely pure. Lin Moyu's soul power continued to increase. After reaching the super god level, the improvement of soul level and soul power equated to the improvement of strength and level. His strength at this moment rose to the super god 6 stage. Boom! Above Lin Moyu's head, a huge star rose. The star was gray and white, exactly like the strange star beneath his feet. The gray area also emitted a strong death aura, while the white area was full of vitality. Only Lin Moyu knew that the gray area also contained vitality, and the white area also contained death. Life within death, death within life. Lin Moyu opened his eyes and saw the gray and white star phenomenon above him.
Law domain. I finally have a law domain too.
This was his law domain, known as the strongest means of a super god. Among super gods, those who could form a law domain were 1 in 10,000. Most super gods could not cultivate a law domain. The law domain was powerful but extremely difficult to cultivate. Many people did not deliberately pursue it. They preferred to pursue the soul manifestation of the true God realm. They knew that soul manifestation was stronger than the law domain. They could completely skip the law comprehension of the super God and directly cultivate stronger means. However, many people did not know that the soul law domain of the God King realm would be incomplete without the law domain of the super God level as a foundation. The law domain of the super God was the foundation, and the subsequent soul manifestation and soul law domain were built on this foundation. If the foundation was not solid, the high building would easily collapse. 955. Chapter 955, The Great World Star Map, must become stronger. Lin Moyu was very happy that he could cultivate a law domain. According to what he knew, as long as one could cultivate a law domain, it was enough to prove that they were a genius among super gods. Although he had long since stopped caring about proving anything, if he couldn't cultivate a law domain, he would still be somewhat disappointed, and it might even affect his future. The day he was defeated in front of the law domain of the giant tree in the starry sky, he could never forget. At that time, he thought that one day he too would cultivate a law domain. The law domain above his head and the gray and white star beneath his feet reflected each other, presenting a rare spectacle. The law domain covered a range of 1,000 meters, and within this range, Lin Moyu could freely wield his undying law. At the same time, the Undead Legion could also receive more law bonuses, greatly enhancing their combat power. His strength had increased from the 3rd stage of the Super God level to the 6th stage, and the power of various spells of the Undead Legion had already greatly increased. If he added the law domain, Lin Moyu felt that he could already compete with a true god. As for which stage of the true god he could compare to, it would need to be tested in actual combat to know. However, Lin Moyu was confident that an ordinary 1st stage true god should not be his opponent. This was confidence in his spells and the undying law. Unless a 1st stage true god possessed the means of soul manifestation, he might not be an opponent. But there were not many true gods who could cultivate soul manifestation. Most of them were like the bloodthirsty bees with pseudo-soul manifestation, which Lin Moyu was not afraid of at all. True soul manifestation required the integration of laws and was extremely difficult to cultivate. It was even harder than the law domain. Besides one's own efforts, it also depended on opportunities. Just like Lin Moyu this time, it was because the opportunity had come. It was the strange star that gave him this opportunity. The polar reversal of the strange star ended. Life turned into death, and death turned into life. But the pattern of life containing death and death nurturing life did not change. To outsiders, it seemed as if the strange star had just switched sides. When the polar reversal was completely finished, a picture suddenly appeared in Lin Moyu's mind. A piece of information directly entered Lin Moyu's soul world. A magnificent star map slowly unfolded in the soul world, and the soul opened its eyes and saw the star map.
This is the star map of the Great World.
Lin Moyu had seen a rough star map of the Great World when he was looking at information. In the publicly available information of the human race, the star map was only a small part of the entire Great World, mainly focusing on the world of the human race. The star map in front of him was far more complete than the one in the information. It could almost be said to cover the entire Great World. Lin Moyu found the area occupied by the human race. The human race occupied 5 vast star regions, but in the entire star map of the Great World, it was less than 1/10,000th. The human race's territory was very large, but if the scale was placed on the entire Great World, the human race's territory was so insignificant. The Great World was too big, unimaginably big. There was a saying among the human race that even a god sovereign could not travel the entire Great World in their lifetime. After the star map was fully displayed, many bright spots appeared on the star map. These bright spots were much brighter than other stars, especially one of them which was particularly bright. The particularly bright spot was located in the human race's area, and Lin Moyu immediately recognized that this bright spot represented the strange star he was on.
This is my location. So, are the other bright spots also strange stars? If I can find other strange stars, can my strength quickly improve?
Lin Moyu was suddenly shocked and immediately began to carefully examine it. In the human race's area, there were 3 other strange stars. 2 of them were located in the Xuanwu star region and the Baihu star region, respectively. The other one was located in the central area of the human race's territory. Lin Moyu murmured,
Central Divine City. It seems I must go to the Central Divine City.
Lin Moyu then memorized the locations of the other bright spots. These bright spots were distributed all over the place, very far apart. These distances were probably measured in millions of light years, and with his current strength, he might not be able to reach them in his lifetime. Moreover, Lin Moyu also knew that these places were very likely the territories of other powerful races. If he wanted to go there, he would also need strong strength.
It seems I must become stronger. No matter if they are strange stars or not, I must go and see.
Lin Moyu was firm in his belief that for various reasons, he must become stronger. After Lin Moyu memorized the locations, the star map gradually dissipated in the soul world, as if it had never appeared. The brilliant light of the strange star also gradually disappeared, returning to its original appearance. At this time, Lin Moyu had already put away the law domain and flew away from the strange star. The people who had been pushed away returned and saw Lin Moyu at first glance.
Why wasn't he pushed away? Was the reaction of the strange star just now caused by him? No, I remember he was at the 3rd stage of the super god level just now. How did he suddenly become the 6th stage of the super god level? Did he hide his strength? Hide my ass. Who can hide their strength on the human emperor network? He must have gained some benefit on the strange star, so his level increased. Hurry, go and ask him if he discovered anything.
A group of people flew over and surrounded Lin Moyu. Lin Moyu frowned slightly.
What's the matter? Lin Moyu, right? We just want to ask, what did you discover on the strange star, and why did your level increase by 3 stages?
The first person to speak was Tang Fei, a 9th stage super god cultivator. His tone was not very polite, even somewhat rude. After entering the great world, most people were polite and courteous to Lin Moyu. Tang Fei was one of the impolite ones. Since someone had spoken, the others did not speak but waited, watching the 2 sides as if watching a show. Lin Moyu looked at Tang Fei indifferently.
Why should I tell you?
Tang Fei was stunned for a moment, then laughed.
We are all human race, all brothers. As your senior brother, is it too much to ask?
Tang Fei's words were somewhat unreasonable, but it was clear he was used to speaking this way. He probably used this kind of rhetoric often. Lin Moyu chuckled.
If I don't tell you, what do you plan to do? Fight me directly?
Tang Fei lau ghét.
How could I fight you? The human race strictly forbids internal fighting. I wouldn't dare to fight you here. But we can go to the human emperor arena to resolve it. Coincidentally, I have a challenge token.
Lin Moyu frowned. What is a challenge token? He had never heard of it. However, when the others heard that Tang Fei had a challenge token, their expressions changed slightly. Those whose strength and level were not as high as Tang Fei's showed a look of vigilance in their eyes. Lin Moyu's appearance made Tang Fei laugh even more unscrupulously.
So you don't even know what a challenge token is. It seems you really are a greenhorn.
A murderous intent flashed in Lin Moyu's eyes. He didn't care about others talking behind his back. But that didn't mean he wouldn't get angry. If someone insulted him to his face, he would kill them. 956. Chapter 956. Those who go too far must pay the price. Tang Fei smiled without good intentions.
The challenge token is a very rare treasure. Lin, I bet you don't even know what a challenge token is used for, so let me explain it to you. The challenge token can be used to issue a challenge to someone of the same realm. The challenged party cannot refuse. If the challenger wins, they can obtain half of the challenged party's points.
Lin Moyu frowned slightly, not expecting there to be such a thing. He instantly thought of a few uses for the challenge token. If someone has already reached the peak of a certain realm, they can use the challenge token to forcibly challenge others in the same realm, with a very high chance of winning. Losing half of one's points would be a huge loss for anyone. Lin Moyu had only recently arrived in the Great World, so he accumulated points very quickly and didn't value them too much. But that didn't mean others didn't value points. For most cultivators, they accumulated points little by little from each task, so points were very precious. Of course, the points that could be robbed did not affect one's permission level upgrades. Lin Moyu wondered why the Human Emperor Network would allow such a thing to exist. He saw the people around him all showing vigilant and displeased looks towards Tang Fei, even some true god experts. It was clear that this thing was not popular. One could imagine that the number of challenge tokens must be very limited. If there were too many, it could disrupt the unity of the human race. However, Lin Moyu, having been born in a small world, had a deeper understanding of some things than many cultivators born in the great world. He knew that, on the basis of stability and unity, the human race also needed some competition. Without competition, the entire human race would lose its drive to move upwards, and the result would ultimately be destruction. Only by emerging from competition could one be considered a true genius. But such competition had to maintain a relative fairness. With the huge population of the human race, true fairness was extremely difficult to achieve. According to Lin Moyu's understanding, the higher the level, the more intense the competition would become. He didn't know if his thinking was correct or if the upper echelons of the human race shared the same view. Seeing Lin Moyu remain silent, Tang Fei thought Lin Moyu was afraid and laughed.
Senior brother doesn't want to trouble you. Just tell us about the situation inside the strange star and I'll be satisfied. I'm not trying to force you, I just hope you'll tell us voluntarily.
He coaxed and persuaded, hoping Lin Moyu would take the bait. Lin Moyu, having figured some things out, let out a light laugh.
According to the rules, if I voluntarily disclose task information, I may be punished. The punishment could be even greater than losing half my points. If that's the case, why should I say anything? If the challenged party loses, they only lose half their points. I suppose if the challenger loses, the loss would be even greater, am I right?
Lin Moyu's words made Tang Fei's expression change slightly. The surrounding whispers fell into Lin Moyu's ears, and he realized he had guessed correctly about the limitations on the challenge token. The human race had indeed placed strict limitations on the challenge token, and the limitations were very severe. If the challenged party lost, they would only lose half their points with no other consequences. But if the challenger lost, not only would they lose all their points, there would be an even heavier punishment. If the challenger's level was higher than the challenged parties, and the challenger still lost, the punishment would be extremely heavy. For the next 100 years, 10% of all the points the challenger earned would automatically go to the challenged party. All the points they worked hard to earn, 10% would automatically be given to someone else, as if they were working for that person for 100 years. This punishment was truly heavy. Lin Moyu knew he had guessed correctly. For something that disrupted unity like the challenge token, the human race could not let it run rampant. First, they controlled the quantity. Second, they imposed extremely strict limitations. This time, it was Tang Fei's turn to be in a difficult position. He really didn't dare to use the challenge token recklessly, for the punishment was too severe. But thinking that Lin Moyu was only at the 6th stage of the super god realm, 3 whole stages below him, Tang Fei suddenly felt he could definitely win. Lin Moyu wore a mocking expression.
Don't dare now? If you don't dare, then get out of the way and stop being a roadblock dog. Even if you want to be a dog, at least be a good dog, not a vicious one.
Lin Moyu's words were extremely impolite, for he truly did not put people like Tang Fei in his eyes. Having a small courage but wanting to threaten others, where in the world were things so cheap? Tang Fei was provoked by the words,
Roadblock dog.
And angrily shouted,
You dare insult me!
His entire being flared with anger, gritting his teeth.
Since that's the case, I'll challenge you, and it will be a real challenge. I want to let you know the price of being reckless. I ask you, do you dare accept?
Tang Fei's words caused another commotion. He actually issued a real challenge, truly going to the extreme. There were 2 types of challenges, one within the Human Emperor Network, only determining victory or defeat. The other was a real challenge in the real world, determining both victory and death. However, even with a challenge token, the challenge party could refuse a real challenge in the real world, as it involved life and death. And after refusing, the challenge token would be considered used up and disappear. This was why real challenges rarely occurred. If the other party refused, not only would the challenge fail, but the challenge token would also be gone, a complete loss. At this moment, Tang Fei was provoked by Lin Moyu's words, and his anger clouded his judgment. Lin Moyu sighed inwardly. The great world was like a greenhouse. The children who grew up in the greenhouse were truly fragile. Just a few words of insult and they couldn't take it, having never experienced the hardships of life. This person had lived for hundreds of years, yet his mental state was so poor. Tang Fei held the challenge token and asked,
I ask you, do you dare or not?
Lin Moyu was completely nonchalant.
What's there to not dare?
Even if Tang Fei's combat power was stronger and he could use a domain of laws, it still wouldn't be able to harm Lin Moyu. From the very beginning, Lin Moyu stood undefeated, so what was there to not dare? Tang Fei's killing intent surged as he sneered repeatedly.
Don't regret it.
As he spoke, he activated the challenge token, and it flew out of his hand, shining brilliantly in the starry sky. Tang Fei said coldly,
I, Tang Fei of the 9th stage of the Super God realm, hereby challenge Lin Moyu in the real world.
The challenge token instantly shot out 2 beams of light, illuminating both Tang Fei and Lin Moyu. At this moment, Lin Moyu also received a message from the Human Emperor Network.
Tang Fei, 9th stage of the Super God realm, has challenged you in the real world. Do you accept?
Lin Moyu immediately chose to accept. This was the result he wanted from the beginning. The words he said were mostly to provoke Tang Fei. He also wanted to tell Tang Fei that sometimes going too far has a price to pay. 957.